Welcome to the True North Racing Podcast, your go-to show for all things racing from coast to coast. We're here to chat with your favorite racers and bring you the latest from the world of short track racing. Hosted by John Morrison and Brandon Feeney. Get ready for fast cars, big personalities, and all the racing action you can handle. Ready? Green, green, green.
And she's off to the races. And we're already started recording. Oh my God, I love that. Thank you, Bryce. That is going to make for a great blooper reel. How's it going, everybody? We're back for our third episode, third in a row. This is our final one for the day of the True North Racing Podcast, presented by Pets Pro Painting this weekend here at Motorama. This time we got Jennifer Hatch joining us. Jen, how's it been?
It's been a year.
No, it hasn't. It's only been 5 months since we last chatted with you.
It's been a year since we've been here.
How you been?
Awesome.
That's good. What have you been up to? How's your off-season been?
Yep. So me and Tracy at PC 275 have been ridiculously busy. I think we're up to 9 listings right now.
Wow.
So spring has definitely sprung as far as real estate goes. So we're keeping busy there, and then obviously I'm still at Ford, so still doing my thing at Ford, and that keeps me busy for a good 50 hours a week. So yeah, it's been good. It's been busy. Got Zach's car ready. It's here. So
I haven't made it over there yet. I heard it looks good.
It looks amazing.
I'm gonna have to make a trip over there to go take a look.
It turned out really good.
That's really good because first of all, it's a legend.
Yep.
I love the Legends. You're back again this year with the Great Lakes Legends Series?
I am. So I'm sticking with being the race director of the Great Lakes Legends Series. We've got so many new things coming. We're going fully automated, so we don't have to pick little balls out of hats anymore. So the boys will get there, we'll go up, you'll hit the button, it'll do your pill draw, it'll put it into the computer. And then as they're racing, Race Monitor will also come up on the screen and do its thing. So fully automated this year, which is going to take a lot of stress off of all of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Last year, I think it was last year on the same Friday when you were told, you came up to me like, hey, I am the race director for the Great Lakes Legends.
And it was International Female Women's Day.
And that's tomorrow, which I've already got a post ready to go for tomorrow. Yeah. So I'm not slacking this year.
Rah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was a year ago that we kind of announced that I was going to be the race director, and it went fairly well. As a race director, you don't have a lot of friends, but
do you ever have any friends as a race director? Like I wouldn't expect you to.
No, that's the truth, right? No,
everyone's gonna hate
if
you.
you're doing your job properly, you're not going to have friends because you're there to control race car drivers that don't like to be controlled.
At some point, they may not be your friend, but they respect that you'll keep the consistency in the calls. You don't need to be friends with everybody, but the respect is where you're getting at.
Honestly, the group that we run with, after hours, we all sit around the fire. We all have a couple of drinks together, and it is an absolute amazing group of people, and their families, and their kids, and my kids, and we just all get along so well. There's actually nobody that's ever been totally ticked for long.
And that's the way it should be, right? And it's good because you guys are a touring division. You guys travel all over Ontario.
We cross with the Ontario Legends Series, not as many times this year, but we will cross, I believe, on 4 occasions.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Do you know which races those ones are?
I should have brought my little schedule. I meant to do that, but I didn't.
Are you guys doing the sticker schedules again, or like you did last year? Because those were cool.
We don't have them done up as stickers. We have some really cool schedules, but no, not on the stickers.
Again,
that was a great idea.
I loved it last year.
Blake comes up with some good ideas, like having me.
I had that on Zoom the entire year. I peeled it off, planning to put the new one on, and then Zoom died.
See, that's not fun. So I do kind of want to talk about something that happened last year because it's been a year since that happened.
What happened?
No. This is a good thing because last year before Motorama, you and I had a conversation. We did a show on the True North Racing podcast.
Right.
And do you remember what came up in that interview? And then we found out that week?
Yeah. So I had a flag that I had kept from Delaware Speedway when I was running the hobby cars. And a fan had made a flag for me. And I had kept it since 2002. And I had tried to find her previous to kind of the media taking off within racing community, and I had never found her. And you posted it, and within hours we had who she was. Her name's Amanda. She's an OPP officer, and so we've been in contact. And it didn't work out last year, just her schedule and etc. But and I don't really take Big Booty Judy farther than Delaware anymore. Yeah. I used to travel with her, but now with the Great Lakes and Zach in racing and such.
Makes it a little harder.
We're gonna definitely get her out in something for sure.
That's awesome. Because I remember last year, because I said I was going to come on out, and I'm like, nothing ever materialized. I'm like, you know what? If we get Jen back on, I got to talk about it. And we didn't get a chance to talk about it in the fall when we had you on the show. But we're here at Motorama a year later.
Yeah. You know, and we found her.
We found her.
Record-breaking time. Like, it blew me away that I had looked for her for 20 plus years.
Yeah.
And that I had kept the flag for 20 plus years. I've moved a lot in those 20 years. And
it stayed with you.
Yeah,
and then
awesome. And then to find her, that was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those like heartwarming moments when you messaged me, you're like, we found her. I'm like, no way. I'm like, it was one of the coolest things I think I've ever got a chance to be a part of.
Yeah, honestly, me too. Like, goosebumps. Gave me goosebumps right there. So yeah.
We've been using podcasts to find out things for Jen for the last 2 years.
That's true.
She now knows who's giving her flam burgers.
Yes. Oh, right. That did happen. Oh, gosh. Jody. Jody? Is that her name?
Jody or Josie? How did you forget?
Jody. Her name was Jody. So the lady that does the flips the flam burgers.
Yep.
We talked about her because we talked about like best food.
Yeah.
And we were like, and I was like, man, like that's definitely the best burgers, blah, 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 blah. And nobody knew her name. So I go and I interviewed her and got her name.
I realized I always talk to her every time I go to Flavor. I realized the same thing. I didn't know her name.
Yeah, Jody.
So the funny part is that's when we were both at Flarenborough the one night. And she goes, why is everybody asking my name? Like, oh, we mentioned it on the podcast. Sorry, that wasn't your podcast, but it was...
No, that was on the Feeney call.
Yeah.
That was on the Feeney call. Yeah, and I was there and I got in line and she's okay, what is happening? Why is everybody asking me what my name is? And I was like, it's because we didn't know what your name was.
But now we do.
And you make a hell of a burger, girl.
That I will lay my life on the line and say that is one of the best track hamburgers you can get.
Absolutely.
But you have to pair it with Peterborough's French fries.
Okay. I'll do Peterborough's French fries, and I'll do Delaware's hot dogs.
Are they that good?
They're good.
I don't think I've ever had a hot dog from there.
And I own a hot dog cart. And I say those are the best hot dogs. Not as good as my hot dog cart dogs, but they're good dogs.
Yeah. All right. Well, who's got the best dessert? Because I'm going with Peterborough brownies.
Does anybody... somebody has butter tarts. Who is it? I think it's Delaware.
I think it's also Peterborough.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to take it upon my mission to find out who has the best desserts this year.
Any racetracks in the vicinity of us? I'm looking at you, Delaware Speedway. You guys need to get like a unique to you dessert.
That's a good idea.
Add to the menu.
Yep.
If you're hearing us, we're talking about food right now, and I'm already hungry. I've only had like 3 brownies today.
You know what we need? A Sauble Sunday.
3.
Sauble Sunday.
3 today.
Sauble
Speedway Sunday.
Make it happen, Brad. Okay, give me ice cream and like toppings.
Pay me in ice cream and hopes and dreams.
That's right.
It's more than I normally get.
So anyways, so back to I'm trying to not gain weight. So
no, I'm sorry.
Not talk about dessert.
So
back with the Great Lakes Legends. Race director for that. Big Booty Judy will be back out at Delaware.
Awesome.
She will have a whole new look.
Ooh.
A whole new color scheme, and a whole new number.
Does it have to do with anything with your hero card that's in front of you?
Yeah. And a whole bunch of new sponsors, which I'd like to thank today too.
Awesome.
Yeah.
We're gonna get to that in just a little bit. going back with, running Delaware Speedway and obviously being the race director, do you feel there's a little bit of correlation of how you control a race, listening to Delaware and then going to yourself the next day to control it, or how do you handle that?
Yeah, like I'm good friends with Sean Gibbs, and he's the race director, and oftentimes I'll find myself mimicking maybe a sentence or two that Sean has played in my ear during a restart at Delaware. And with 54 bone stocks, let's just say he's not always nice to us because we can kind of drag along and take a long time to get lined up and stuff. But so yeah, I definitely can take some of what Sean says on Friday nights and implement it into Saturdays and stuff. So
now for you, obviously being behind the wheel of a race car and then jumping into the
33
booth.
years this
30,
year.
yeah, 33 years,
33
everyone.
33 years this year.
This lovely lady right here has been driving stock cars across Ontario and even in the States, I think, with the hobbies.
Oh, yeah.
Because you were with the hobbies back in the 90s.
And the Legend car.
And the Legend car.
Yeah.
I know we've talked about it, but some of the people here who haven't seen you or heard of you, what has been your
Which is like, have you lived up? No, I'm just kidding.
We all live in Motorama. Some of us live in Motorama throughout the year. Just, you don't see us. What has been your favorite car that you have run over the years?
Yeah, 33 years is a long time.
That is a long time.
I always loved my Flamborough late models. I had 2 or 3 different late models at Flamborough. I loved that. The hobby car, obvious reasons. Love the open wheel, modified feel.
Yeah.
I love the hobby car, but that Legend car, there's just something about that Legend car. They're just so sketchy to drive. Like, you can be like full throttle down the front stretch, back stretch, and she'll kick out, like just out of nowhere. Like, she's just that on the edge all the time. So I would say the Legend car is by far the funnest one to drive.
Yeah.
Is there anything you haven't driven that you want to cross off the list?
I would like to drive an open wheel modified. Oh my gosh, guess who has one of those? Woo, what a segue.
I was going to say, we might have to do a trade-off where I get to drive Big Booty and you get to drive
Absolutely, by all means. Just one race. Yeah, it's one thing I have never raced is open wheel modified. Like, I had the hobby car, which is...
But that's not a...
But it's not
like
it's
a
not
tour
an
type
open wheel
modified.
And I will say, I think the sexiest cars, especially south of the border, I don't know why they're a little bit sexier south of the border. I'm not sure what it is, but the open wheel modified for me is the sexiest
It's the
car.
bigger tires that make them look a little bit
Is it?
better.
Like, they're just... I met Todd Owen last year down at one of the races there, and I follow him, and we've exchanged T-shirts and sweaters, and we've actually became quite good friends. And his modifieds out of his Chassis Pro shop are just spectacular to look at. Yeah, they're just so beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, even yesterday I was talking with Feeney, I looked at him, I'm like, why does your car look so much smaller than like the States modified? It's like, he goes, it's the same size. He goes, it's the tires. So I'm like,
It's literally the same 602 chassis. It's just you're running 10-inch tires instead of 14. It's amazing how big 14-inch tires make the car look.
Yeah. So that is something that is skip.
Tires, John. Tires.
Skip that conversation.
Yep.
Anyways,
Sorry.
So I would say that the modifieds are the sexiest beasts.
The state
and
size.
I have not driven one.
Yeah. I mean, like you said.
Yeah.
Segue.
That was a good segue right there.
I
just have found myself a ride in one.
There you go.
I mean, I wasn't planning on maybe making both Delaware dates anyway, so like.
There we go. I'll bring along some sponsorship, and away we go.
Now we're talking.
It's always money talks.
Exactly, right? That's usually what happens.
That's right.
What are you most looking forward to this year, besides possibly going to drive Feeney's modified?
Yeah, no, well, that kind of just skipped to the top of the list. So what am I looking forward to most? So most obviously, Zach, he's just 22. He turns 23 this Sunday. Actually, I was just talking, so I don't know if anybody's made it over to the Great Lakes booth, but when you do, we got Jade Franklin, Austin Arnell, and Zach Hatch. 22, 22, and 22.
Wow.
And you're
group.
talking the champion. Zach finished third, should have finished second, but we didn't make it to Autumn Colors, so he lost those points. But
yeah.
So he finished third, not second. And then you got Jade Franklin, which any night of the week, he's going to be in the top 3.
Yeah.
So, and they're all 22. So how crazy is that? So, I'm really looking forward to watch Zach grow. We lost our ride last year. So that was a bit of a hit for us. But racers do as racers do, and we dug deep and we found another ride, and he's back in another car. He's in a sedan this year, so #Sedan Nation. So he's in a sedan this year. It turned out amazing. I'm really looking forward to see what Zach does. Like he's still a baby.
Yeah.
I don't know how I have a 22-year-old and a 30-year-old and a 25-year-old, but I do. But having said that, I'm really looking forward to watching Zach grow. I'm looking forward to the Great Lakes Legends growing and changing. We had a lot of hiccups last year with technology and just we'd never done it before. Really. It was all brand new to all of us. And some nights did not go smoothly, and I didn't even hold my composure a couple nights. And you know what I mean? So having us just have a better year at the Great Lakes Legends, and Blake's put a lot of work into it. We've got some new sponsorship there as well, so that's been amazing. Big Booty Judy, we've brought on some great new sponsors this year. We've got more sponsors than we've ever had.
Awesome.
So that's amazing, and I'll be touring a bit with the APC just because of my affiliation with Jamie. So
yep.
I'm excited. Yeah, it's going to be a busy, fun year.
And you know what? There's no better way to spend a weekend than at a racetrack.
No.
Let's be real. There's no better way, because a lot of these tracks, one, also offer free camping.
Yeah.
Or very little charge for camping for the night.
Yeah.
And you can just set up camp.
And all your friends are there.
All your friends are there.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times you go to Flamborough or for our Frosttoberfest or Autumn, I don't know how it looks at Autumn Colors, but you just have campers just in a square.
Yep.
Because
it's all the little families.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Totally.
love it. It's such a, and I love the fact that they still use the property to be able to, so that way if you guys decide, not saying anyone does, but if you guys decide to start drinking, at least you guys aren't driving anywhere. You guys have a place to put your head down.
That has never happened.
I know it's never happened.
No, never happened.
But at least you guys have a place to. I know you guys have a place to put your head down.
Yeah.
To sleep for the night, and that way you guys aren't rushing to get home.
Yeah. Well, when we race Sauble or whatever, it's a long haul.
Oh yeah.
And we used to try and make it back, and I'd end up driving the transport truck back because everybody else was sleeping. So I just. It's just easier to stay, safer to stay.
And I mean, when you're staying at Sauble, you got the beach 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah. Oftentimes we'd get up in the morning and head to the beach, let the kids play at the beach or whatever, and do the boogie boards and all that, and then head out and race. So that was fun. And Delaware is a riot.
Oh, yeah.
Right? 2 big weekends at Delaware that we we get there Thursday.
Yep.
Right? You pull out on Sunday. It's a ton of fun. And like you said too, I would say even if we don't have any racing to do, guess where I end up?
At the racetrack.
At a racetrack. There's just not a night that you sit at home and go, oh, they're racing an hour away from me, and I'm just going to sit here on the couch or do something.
You're going to load up and go.
You're loading up and going.
I'm finding, even for myself this year, I'm finding that I may be heading up a few more racetracks throughout the summer. We just, one of our drivers this year, his crew chief is actually with the Ontario Off-Road Racing guys that are just up over here.
Yep. And
they've invited us out to go to Oswego. Right. They run just around the corner from Oswego Speedway on the motocross track. First of all, I didn't know there was a damn motocross track down there.
Honestly,
and now I'm learning.
I was at Oswego for years and years and years, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's one of those things. It's nice that we're able to, it's one of those things that it's nice that we're able to come here to Motorama.
Yep.
And see everybody. We got Buxton Speedway over there. I don't think I've ever seen them at the show here.
I don't think so either. And we raced our legend cars there this year, and we had a lot of naysayers, and there was a lot of guys that weren't going to come out. They didn't want to get dirty. They thought they had to buy dirt tires. There was a lot of reasons why people wouldn't show up. It's going to be too rough on my car, etc. And 2, 4, 6, 8. I think we had 8 or 10 show up. They all had an absolute blast. All of them said they will be back, and we were just talking about it in the Legends tent, and they were saying, look, this track and this track, our cars got dirtier than they did at Buxton. And it was a fast, good, clean race. Austin Arnell won it, And Zach, not a dirt racer.
I love dirt racing. And you know what? I haven't done it yet because I just got iRacing.
Yep.
I haven't tried the Legends on dirt yet. And looking over at Feedy, I think he's got an idea that I don't like, that I don't.
Try the street stocks first as a heads up.
Yeah, Legends are tough. Now, I will say, so we have, Zach built us a rig. So we have an iRacing rig. And Jamie at his place has an iRacing setup. And so, just for setups, they were actually playing around with different spring ratios and different setups.
Yeah.
And actually going to apply that into this year's program. And it was amazing how much different just changing the spring ratios or whatever on the iRacing sim rig and then trying it again. And it was like, holy God, that made a huge difference. So guys that are using their rigs for actual development of their programs, which is so freaking cool.
Yeah, before I jumped in my Legend and you kicked my ass every week.
Thank you.
Hey.
That's PG-ish. But
he was just upset because I was beating him every week.
all I could see was the Mohawk coming out of the back of the car in front of me, and I couldn't pass it. But that helped me. The biggest thing was
a ponytail. It's a ponytail. I didn't have a Mohawk. I had a ponytail.
it was a little window. I couldn't tell. But it helped me with steering inputs, and the Legend cars are very sensitive. And it's you drive the big cars, you're doing a 12 to 9 roughly turning motion, where a Legend car it's 12 to 11:30.
They're so sensitive.
They're very sensitive.
Yeah, but just a shit ton of fun to drive.
Oh yeah, I always, whenever we start talking about Legends, it always brings me back to the 2008, 2009 Performance World Show here, back when the Motorsports guys were in the back corner in Hall 2. There was a number 4 red Legend car that sat over there.
Waving Willie.
Was that who it is?
It'd be Bill
Did we
Mason.
talk about that?
It'd be Bill Mason. If it's number 4 and it's red, it would be Bill Mason.
Yeah.
I was here, but I had my hobby car here.
I actually got into that car when it was here. I barely got out.
That's a lot of people.
But I love the car. I've since then I've loved the cars. I think they're so cool, and the fact that they look old, they look older with the body style, but they have very new components on them. Mm-hmm. Makes them so much of an intriguing, I find, stepping stone for a lot of younger kids. We got Cole Camera's car sitting over here. He's going to be running Legends this year. It's nice to see that development going from a junior late model or a Bandolero to a Legend car. And I find it's nice that we have that stepping stone as well. But it also doesn't stop at moving up. It also adds for guys like your son and Arnell and everyone who just likes the division because they're fun.
Yeah, and honestly, not that I'm running the Legend car anymore because Zach's kind of in them, but at the same time, where do you go from there? You're not going to have that much fun anywhere else.
Yeah.
And I, from experience, I'm saying that.
And you've raced a lot, so you can pick and choose what you want to.
Yeah.
You can say I want
to go back and do that, or I want to go back and do that. But no, the Legend car for me, where do you really want to go from there? The competition is so stiff.
Yeah.
The rule book is the rule book. Every car meets the rule book.
Because it's the same rules as the INEX series, right?
That's right. So it's all INEX. So every part has to have an INEX stamp.
Yep.
So there's just so many ways to keep it equal.
Yeah.
Now the motors are kind of coming into effect, obviously, because you've got the 1250, and then they've gone to the 900, and now there's a new one out too.
Yes,
so
FZ09, MT09.
MT09. So, those are but again, each of those motors have their own ways to drive. One has more torque, one you have to be a little bit smoother. So you can still gain the speed that you need.
Yeah.
Depending on what motor you have, you just have to drive the car accordingly to the motor that you have.
Yeah.
The 1250 is still a little bit more work because you have to have fans and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But having said that, I think the 1250 still has a real competitive car. You just have to know how to wheel that car.
Yeah.
So.
Sorry, my eyes just caught Ricky Bobby walking by here.
Ricky Bobby.
If he ain't first or last.
Jinx, you owe me a Dr. Pepper Zero.
So, but anyway, so having said that, that's kind of how the year is going to unfold for us, I think. And we're not heading to the States this year.
Yep.
They just couldn't give us a date, and we wanted to get the programs out because of Motorama and etc.
As you always do.
Yeah, so we couldn't get a date kind of locked down with them, which is kind of too bad because we love going to Flat Rock. Flat Rock is so much fun. I do believe there's something most definitely in the works for Washego.
Oh, yeah.
Washego? Is that how you say
Oswego?
it? No, Oswego.
Or,
in
the one in
States.
Michigan?
Yeah, in the Michigan. So I do feel like there's something in the works for us to head there next year on the 2025 schedule. I think we even have a date.
Nice.
So that will be really cool. Like that facility is, wow, second to none, right? Like it's
Rex Wheeler has been doing an amazing job there.
Amazing. Like when your sign is $2 million, you know, yeah. So anyways, so we're looking forward to heading down there with the legends, and I'm hoping a whole bunch of people want to jump on board and join us down there. So that'll be a great show.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Dwight.
The biggest thing about Oswego is supermods.
No matter where the supermods are, they're super cool. They're coming to Delaware this year.
I know.
But Oswego supermods is like every car has its home track where that's like the place that you got to see them. And like Oswego supermods, like I've been waiting for iRacing to bring one out just so I can say I did it.
My aunt and uncle went this past year, and they again, it was just one of those things where that's my Aunt Connie's favorite car, and they travel down there and watch, and they love those. So
they're such a cool. I'm excited for them to go back to Delaware. I really hoping I can make it because I haven't seen those probably since 2010. I think it was the last time they were at Delaware. Or one of the last times I was at Delaware when they were there.
I don't even know if I've ever seen them.
I remember I was pitting for David Elliott at the time, and they were there the same night. And I remember actually Ed, who just walked by here, was he just turned back over there. I remember saying like these guys are loud, like just keep an eye out, and sure enough,
and we have Junior to cheer for, so Junior Farley, so we'll be cheering for him. Absolutely, hopefully he makes it to the Delaware one. Yep,
and he has his APC late model over here in the Racer Corral once again.
Yes, I hand delivered his hero cards today.
You hand delivered my hero cards today too.
Yep, I know. I made my rounds.
By the way, they look fantastic.
Thank you.
I love the way they look. Yours looks really good too.
I know. Got some of those.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's going to be, I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you going back to the Legends. I love the fact that last year, you were like, hey, I'm this. I'm like, we had to get you on. We had to talk to you about it.
So
and of course we had to bring on about getting a hold of Amanda from the OBP. And
we've had a lot of stuff happen in the last
year. We've had a
lot
of cool and a lot of great conversations as well. I'm hoping to continue many more with you because, we said we were going to do the pre-Motorama show, and last week I didn't get a chance to get a hold of you to ask you. But you know what? We're at Motorama.
We were busy in the shop.
We're here.
Like a week and 10 days ago, we had a chassis in the shop that had just arrived back from getting powder coated.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, like it was all hands on deck all last weekend.
I think Feeny can beat you, just as a heads up.
We had everybody just thrashing away.
It was literally like, I think mine and Jen's Snapchat, every time we were doing Snapchat, it was, look, we got something new on the car.
Yeah, true. So, but anyways, I think it's just going to be an awesome year. Like, how could it not be? You're going to be at racetracks. The weather's going to be nice. We can get through this winter.
The never-ending winter?
The never-ending winter. And Zach turns 23 on Sunday, which means the next Friday I turn 53.
You mean 29, right?
That's right. And so, I don't know how much longer I really want to do it, but then every time I think, well, we'll put a for sale sign on her, then I'm like, no, not putting a for sale sign on her. So, I don't know. We'll see how many more years I have in me.
Yeah.
It's the Richard Petty rules. When you stop having fun, then you can sell it.
Well, no, and I'm still having a ton of fun. Although extremely, how do you say that, frustrated at Delaware. I'm not going to lie. You got 53 cars, bone stocks.
Yeah.
Not bone stocks. And we are. And I'm not willing to spend $15,000 in my car to be running at the front. I think that's just absolutely ludicrous. If you have that kind of money, go run something else.
Go run a late model.
Yeah,
Well,
go
you
run an
need a
Oscar
lot
mod.
more than the 15,000 to go run. But you know what I mean. But you got
I know
your
what you
you
mean,
got your
though.
V8 stocks, you got your super stocks. Like it just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
But I know race car drivers sense
Yeah.
doesn't mean that correlates anyways. And I'm surely to blame. Like I'm also fall in that category. Totally fall in that category. So I don't know. It's frustrating there. That's
Yeah.
the only thing. Like you got your top 5, 6, 7, 8 cars
Yeah.
that just cream absolutely everybody. And now we're running into tire issues on how to get tires, where to get tires,
Yeah.
how to have tires. So that's also going to be a huge situation this year. I don't even know what I'm going to run for tires this year. So I don't know. We'll have to see.
I'll send you a price list. I know a lady.
You know a lady?
I know a lady.
All right, I'm in. Yeah, because I don't know.
It's
I
not
don't
a bad
know.
price either. If Ashley?
Yeah.
Yeah. She's got a good deal.
So I don't know. Apparently, like the ones are hard to find that we were trying to find, but we'll see. Maybe if she has them, then we'll buy a whole bunch.
After the show, you guys talking.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ashley might even be here today.
Will she be here today? That'd be good.
I know one of her cars is down there, the Rob Crick mini stock down there. So she takes care of a lot of drivers in Ontario, does a lot of good stuff for racing. So
Yeah.
Perfect. Girl power.
Exactly.
Me and Morgan Moore did our autograph session this
how
morning.
was that?
So much fun, except like the people come up and they're like, so Morgan, like how long have you been racing? And she's so adorable. And she's like, oh, 3 years. And they're like, and how long have you been racing? And I'm like, 33 years. I was like, oh my God, that sounds terrible. But anyways, yeah, so that was fun. Again, so you make so many friends in this industry.
You really
and
do.
Just running around. And we don't even really race at tracks with them. Like they run Sunset on the odd occasion. We go there a couple times a year, but like I don't see them on a regular. And yet I love Sam and his wife and Morgan, and it's awesome.
This is why I love Motorama, because it gives a chance for everyone to meet together, and we may not all know each other, or a lot of us know who each other are, but it gives us a chance to not be in an environment where there's race. Well, I mean, we have tons of race cars here, but we're not in an environment where one will fire up and we're going racing.
Yeah.
Right? Where the only time we're going to be racing is on Sunday night when we're trying to get out of here.
Yes, this is true.
That's the only time it'll look like a racetrack.
And they're trying to keep you contained.
Yeah.
No, you got to wait till 5. You got to wait till 5.
Exactly, right?
Meanwhile, you got everything packed up at 3.
Yeah.
No, very much true. And it's been a long winter. Like, I don't know. Like, I live in the snow belt for sure.
I was going to say, your winter's been crazy out there.
Unbelievable. Like, people do not believe how much snow we've had.
I've liked your Snapchat mornings.
Yeah. Last Saturday, we had so many plans.
Yep.
And woke up, went upstairs and went, shit. Like, it was a 4-foot drift in the laneway. And we didn't leave all day. And Zach was in London, which is only half an hour from us, and could not get home because the roads were all closed. And his car is sitting there in pieces, getting ready for this weekend, and he was just like, I can make it around, and we're like, do not even attempt
just stay.
it. Yeah, so he ended up staying in London, and we ended up just getting totally storm stayed yet again. Like it was crazy winter.
Oh yeah.
I appreciate you taking all the snow, so my Civic that's outside hasn't got it all.
Yes, your new Civic.
They're kind of new.
Yeah.
That car's been racing probably longer than I have.
So, but anyways, so yes, we were more than happy to get out of the house.
Yep.
Get out for the weekend. Zach's in playoffs. He's a C4 Centenaire, senior AA.
Nice.
So he's in playoffs. So he's leaving here shortly, and we lose him for the weekend because they play Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But
busy weekend for him.
he hurt his shoulder really bad on the last game, so he's kind of like, I might see you back, because if I can't play, then I might as well come back. So we'll see how he plays tonight's game.
Where are they playing?
Tonight they're in Seaforth, 7:30. Yeah.
That's a little bit of a drive, I guess.
Oh, it's a little bit of a drive, yeah.
I was about to say, if anyone wants to go to Seaforth tonight to go watch a hockey game, head out now.
Yeah, so he'll be heading out for that. So we lose him for the weekend, which kind of...
It's unfortunate.
It's unfortunate. But having said that, you make commitments, you stick with them, right?
Exactly, right?
Yeah.
As always, it's always a pleasure to chat with
you.
you. Before we let you go, I know Mr. Cam over here hated me during our last show there, but we are going to ask you to take a few minutes, thank everyone and anyone you would like, all your sponsors. I'm assuming that's why the hero card's up here.
Yeah, so I don't forget anybody.
I know the last one we had a couple guys forget a couple of their sponsors, so we don't want that again.
Yep.
So floor is yours.
Thank you. So we have our returning sponsors, which is the Clean Freak, which is Zach's stepmom, and Finch Construction's back. Robson Scrap Metal. Thank you so much to Kent Robson. He stepped up and put Zach in one of his cars. Jay's Detail Shop is back. Of course, me and Tracy are back with PC275. ZH Contracting, which is Zach's side hustle. He's a licensed welder, so he welds up stuff for everybody. My other full-time job, which is St. Mary's Ford, so they're on board. And we picked up Red Rock Construction this year. We picked up Batten Build this year. We picked up Corsi Electric this year. So, and we picked up Sunset Diner, which is a diner in St. Mary's. So, quite honestly, like, so spoiled and so fortunate to have these great sponsors on board.
Absolutely, and it's good when you have returning sponsors and then even new sponsors joining you as well.
Yeah, and we have two really big ones that we didn't get signed and solidified. So, if those two come on, we're sitting in a really good spot.
That's awesome.
Which is so nice. As a racer,
it's
so important to have that funding behind you. So, so we're waiting for two more to. They say they're on board, but until I see it, I want to make sure that they're on board for sure. So, having said that, it should be a really great year. We're looking forward to everything. We want to thank you guys. Stickers and scuffs, and the Feeney podcast. We spent a ton of time together last year. And you also, Joe Mo, and you're doing great things for racing. Like, people know things about us that nobody ever would have known.
That's the fun part about this, is
right?
We get a chance to talk to you guys. Because as we have stickers over there, for anyone who's interested as well, I'm going to slide this in there as well. It gives us a chance to lift the visor and actually really see who you guys are.
Yeah.
And guys and gals are. Because when we show up to the track as a fan, we don't see who you are. Yeah. We see a driver in a fire suit, or it may not even see the driver at all.
Yep.
But it gives us a chance to see the person you are and get to, so that way they can feel more connected to you, I guess, a little bit, especially if they like you.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's better when you like them and you get to know who they are.
Yeah.
Than if you don't, you're like, I just like it because the car is cool.
Hey, a lot of people do like people because their car looks cool. But, people like... I'm a grandma of 4, you know what I mean? Like, I have 4 grandkids and I have 3 kids, and people just don't know those little things because it's not something you talk about at the track. No. So this is just a great opportunity to do that, and I'd say you guys have just done a great job in making sure people are, getting to know each other.
That's the best part.
So I got to ask the question. You're still racing, your kid's racing. How long till we have 3 generations racing at the same time?
So we've actually talked about that.
Oh, man.
Because my oldest grandson is going to be 13 this year.
Okay.
So, again, how do I have a 13-year-old grandson?
Hello.
Right?
Legend car. Exactly. Perfect for them.
Well, he's never raced anything.
Legend car, Bandolero.
Yeah.
So the big thing is they live so far away. They live up in Minden. So for us to help them is hard. But I'd love to see... can you imagine having 3 generations racing? I don't know. Like, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, I feel like close enough to Minden, I can help put something together.
That's only ever happened one other time.
Has it?
That I know of.
Well, I know there's not a lot of mom and sons racing, which is very cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
The ones with the Pro 4s I know did it.
Sorry?
I know the 3 with the Pro 4s did it.
I know last year one of the CVMs, it was Sandy Murdoch, Steve Murdoch, and Quentin Murdoch. They all drove in the same race.
That's very cool.
I think they did the same thing in the
Pro 4s.
Yeah, I don't remember the names, but I'm pretty sure he was talking about it. You got to drive with his grandson and son.
Yeah, maybe we'll have to go over there and find out if that's the case.
That would be cool. I'm sure I could find another legend car to drive for a day or two.
Three generations of.
That'd be pretty cool.
Would be great on track.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. But anyway,
you never know. Well. We're going to let you go back to the Great Lakes Legend Series. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having
me. As always,
me.
it's always so much fun.
Yeah,
Enjoy the show.
Thank you.
we'll obviously see you around all weekend because we'll be here. So enjoy your time.
Thank you very much, guys. Thanks for having me on.
No problem. Anytime. As we let Jen exit the stage here, just a second. Don't worry. Hey, before we actually leave, we're going to trade hero cards. Mine are useless, but I just want to get them gone. At least I'm being honest about it, okay?
In a week, mine won't even look like that.
You know what? That's okay. But then I'll need an updated one. That's all.
You got a limited edition card.
You dropped something there, Jen.
It's a limited edition.
A limited edition. I'm going to frame this.
You're a one of one. There is not another Jennifer Hatch.
Oh, man. Anytime. What's up?
Murdochs are also hardcore slot car racing family.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Murdochs?
Yes.
Oh, Murdochs. Sorry, yeah. Oh, yeah, they love their slot car racing. Steve's always out there.
So I wonder what the average is. Like, who's faster on the slot cars and who's faster on the real track?
Quentin's 100% faster on the real track.
But like, where's the average cross?
Oh.
Right?
I mean, I see Steve. I don't really see Quentin doing a lot of the slot car racing, but Steve does a lot of it. He does a lot of during the off season, and Sandy.
Yeah. Because I know JBJ used to do a bunch of slot car racing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like some of the time.
But now he's doing the RC racing.
Have you seen his setup?
No. I haven't seen it in a while.
He has a better RC setup than I have for the real car. He's got a wind tunnel.
Jesus. Oh, man. Of course, we got to thank Jennifer Hatch for joining us. It's always fun chatting with her. Gets a chance, 33 years racing in Ontario and even in some of the states. She continues. She's going to get up there, right? And, we're very proud of her for continuing racing. She does a hell of a job, and even going into the booth for the Great Lakes Legends Series, becoming the race director there. She does phenomenal. She's a sweet lady, very nice. Love having her on the show. But yeah,
she's sweet, but at the same time, just don't take
cross
advantage.
her.
Yeah, she will bite on that point.
Oh, I can only imagine. So if you guys want to go chat with Jennifer Hatch, she's hanging out in the Great Lake Legends booth on the far right wall by Hall 2, I think it is.
Yeah, just below like the 37 sign, pretty much.
Yeah, near door 37. If anyone's walking over there, they can see it. But yeah, I love the Legends. Always have. I think they're such cool little cars. And, the fact that we're right across from Coles over here, I like looking at that. That's a nice looking ride.
Yeah, it is bright.
It's bright. Hey, you know what? Nothing wrong with a bright race car.
That reminds me of dirt liveries, and I love dirt cars.
You like the bright colors on a dirt car.
So,
but I mean, who doesn't?
I just got to find myself a ride for that big Legends race up at Sauble Speedway.
Maybe should have talked to Jen. She knows someone who can help you get a ride.
If she wants to drive my car, fair is fair.
Exactly, right? We do have to thank Pets Pro Painting for being the presenting sponsor of our time here at Motorama. If you guys are looking for any kind of paint for your home, Jay does an amazing job. The quality's been second to none from what I've seen. And Jay's such a nice guy. He supports local racing in Ontario. Pets Pro Painting is on the side of his number 43 Canadian Vintage Modified. It's not here. I would love for it to be here because it's a great looking car. But he's busy. I know he's working hard. So yeah, if you guys are able to go find him on Jay Pepin on Facebook and get your stuff today. His phone number is 905-394-1470 or email petspropainting@gmail.com. If you guys are looking for more information about Jay and Pets Pro Painting, contact. Come over, find us over in the Boneyard Event Services podcast corner, right below the stickers and scuff sign is where you'll find us. We got our Joe Media Hero cards. We got some DJD gear, graphics, business cards, which, by the way, I freaking absolutely love them. Once again, we have these cornhole boards here that we're going to be auctioning off in June. Going to go to a great cause in the Canadian Cancer Society. I lost my mom 14 years ago, so it's going to be a nice little thing to do in her memory, in her honor. Considering there's not a lot of other things that I could do for her right now, obviously. But yeah, these are going to go home to someone. These are going to go to a good home in June. So make sure you guys follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, joemedia.ca for all the latest. And to see when the auction goes live, we're going to have that up on the website starting June 1st, running through June 25th with the winner being announced on June 26th. So...
And we'll probably link something with the mini stock there with these boards as well once we get finalized who's driving when and stuff like that. So I'm looking at a 20-person schedule so far that keeps growing.
Yep.
And I'm excited some of the names once I get paperwork signed and stuff like that. That like I was telling you earlier, I'm hoping that we can raise 10 to 20 grand for charities this year through all our projects. And
that'd be great if you can raise that much.
And it's all honesty, it's yeah, we all love racing, but at the same time, we have to make our communities love racing.
Yeah.
We have to have that good image, and doing stuff for charity is something that we've both done for years, even before we were involved in racing, and it's something we're going to continue doing.
Yep.
And it doesn't take a lot of time or effort to do so.
No, absolutely not. So, yeah, we're going to get out of here because I think we're about to get the 2-minute warning here from our cameraman, Bryce, who's been rocking it all day. He's had to listen to us for 3 hours straight.
He's going to start throwing things at us now.
I'm waiting for him to start throwing stuff at us. Just like, I'm done with you guys. Get out of here.
I'm going to hide behind my jerky.
But, Bryce, thank you so much for everything you're doing. Buddy behind the camera, you're doing a phenomenal job. Like I said, don't forget to hydrate, please.
Thank you guys for keeping the stage busy all day.
Right? 3 hours straight, man. How are you not tired of us?
He is.
It's great. Good variety. You got different guests on each hour. It's
Don't
good.
lie to me. I'm not a child. Don't lie to me.
He's like, shut up, fatty. We got to go.
So, yeah, if you guys want to come check us out, we're over here at the Boneyard Event Services Podcast Corner. I'll be here all the weekend long. Brandon's actually got his number 38 modified over in the Racer Corral. It's a great-looking car, by the way.
Yeah, Mr. Sean Scrat right there just painted it, so...
It's a hell of a job. Great job. Okay, it's going to look great under the lights, or even in the daytime. It's going to look great on practice, I can tell you that much.
And he's even got a DJD graphics shirt on at the same time.
Look at that. And I got my DJD.
See, that's coincidental right there.
That is very coincidental. But we're going to get out of here. We're going to make way for Stickers and Scuffs podcast coming up here in just a little bit. Brandon, we're done our 3 hours for today. Let's go and try to enjoy the show for the rest of the day.
So what you're saying is party on?
Party on. Again, thank you to all our marketing partners, Pets Pro Painting, Driving with Haley, Graphic Design Studios, Georgetown Printing, Stickers and Scuffs podcast.
Shouldn't have gave that hero card away, huh?
I really hate I gave that here. Jen, bring it back. The Feeney Call for Photography, Taylor Team Media Designs, and yeah. So we'll be back here on stage tomorrow at 12 p.m. with Michael Robinson III. Until then, we'll see you guys later. Bye now.
Thanks for tuning in to the True North Racing Podcast. Be sure to follow us on social media for more racing content and updates. You can find Jomo Media and promotions on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and at jomomedia.ca. Until next time, keep your engines running and your belts tight.